All right, everyone. Today I want to share everything we know so far and what we can expect ahead of the big event on June 10th about iOS 18's AI features, including some very reliable leaks and rumors. I have to admit, some features seem really cool to me, while others, well, not so much. Anyway, folks, without further ado, let's see these iOS 18 AI features that we're almost certain will be unveiled on June 10th. According to the recent scoop in Gurman's Power On newsletter, Apple is launching something they're calling Project Grey Matter. I think this project is essentially a series of AI tools that will integrate across a variety of apps like Safari, Photos, and Notes, possibly enhancing the entire OS experience. First up on the list of new features to talk about is something I guess you might say is pretty intriguing. Generative AI for emojis. Yes, you heard that right. This new feature will allow you to create custom emojis in real time, based on your ongoing text conversations. I guess this could mean a whole new level of personalized emojis, far beyond the standard set we're all used to. But let's pause for a second, folks. While innovative, do we really need our phones suggesting emojis when we're texting about sensitive topics? For instance, if you're sharing that you've had a rough day health-wise, do you really want a custom emoji popping up? I guess it's an interesting idea, but might not be everyone's cup of tea. Next up, let's talk about a new feature that's making waves, even though it's not directly tied to AI: a revamped iPhone home screen. Now, according to the latest reports, iOS 18 is set to bring some serious customization options your way. I think you'll be able to change the color of your app icons and place them anywhere you like. Picture this: all your travel apps in one color, your games in another, and your productivity apps in yet another, all arranged however you please, not just stuck in the traditional grid. I guess this could lead to some pretty unique, albeit potentially chaotic, home screen setups. But hey, for those who love the somewhat chaotic but freer style of Android customization, this could be perfect. Let's not forget, folks, after years of hearing how Apple doesn't let you customize your iPhone like you can with Android, it looks like they're finally opening up those gates with iOS 18. Now, these AI features will be available both for iOS 18 and macOS 15. Some of them will be powered directly by the chips in the iPhones, iPads, and Macs, and are designed to handle processing on device. Others leveraging the cloud, utilizing the power of M2 Ultra chips stationed at data centers. So, what's on the horizon for these AI capabilities? Well, for starters, how about the ability to transcribe voice memos? This is something I've been hoping to see in the voice memos apps for years. Then there's AI-driven photo retouching. But the real question is, how will it stack up against Google's Magic Editor, which currently leads as the best customer-level AI photo editor on a phone? And you know what, folks? Spotlight searches are set to become faster and more reliable thanks to Apple's Project Grey Matter. The same goes for Safari web searches and automatic suggested replies in emails and text messages, much like what we already see in Gmail. I guess it's pretty clear this tech is weaving its way into just about everything. Siri is also on deck for an upgrade, with enhancements that will make interactions sound more natural. This improvement is driven by Apple's own large language models. I mean, I guess you can expect a smarter Siri not just on your phone, but on your Apple Watch as well. And for the developers out there, get ready for some AI enhancements in Xcode. Imagine tools that can autocomplete the more mundane lines of code. Additionally, expect your devices to provide smarter recaps of the day, with AI-powered summaries of missed notifications and text messages, and even briefs for Safari pages, new articles, documents, and other media. I think it's all coming together to make your tech experience smoother and smarter. Now, while none of these features individually might seem like game changers, unless the idea of generative AI emojis really excites you, I think they do represent collective improvements that could significantly enhance your overall experience. We'll just have to wait and see. As of now, there's no Apple-designed chatbot, at least not according to Mark Gurman. This means Apple still doesn't have anything quite like what OpenAI has offered the public. However, one route for Apple to narrow this gap could be through strategic partnerships. It's been known for months that Apple has been in discussions with both Google and OpenAI to integrate their chatbots into iOS 18. The report suggests that Apple was close to sealing a deal with Google, but it's the partnership with OpenAI and CEO Sam Altman that might steal the spotlight, potentially being announced during the keynote at WWDC. Who knows, folks? I think this could be a monumental step in bringing an AI chatbot to the mainstream. We know Apple has a long-standing deal with Google for search capabilities because no one does it better, and it would make sense for them to forge a similar path with OpenAI. However, relying solely on OpenAI isn't ideal, and that's why Apple is also considering incorporating Google's Gemini in other capacities. Looking at the broader tech landscape over the past month, we've seen some significant moves. Google showcased its direction for generative AI at google.io, while OpenAI introduced GPT-4o featuring an impressive real-time live translation session. On the other hand, Microsoft demonstrated its Copilot Plus AI feature, set to incorporate on-device across its Surface lineup. All this activity sets the stage as we await Apple's AI strategy, and it's clear they are a bit behind. But does it really matter they're playing catch-up when they command such a vast consumer base? I guess we'll have to wait to know the answer and see how Apple's immense user base reacts to the upcoming AI features and updates. You see, Apple could potentially become a major AI player just by leveraging its massive user base. Imagine many of these AI features might be working silently in the background, unbeknownst to users. But let's be clear, this is still very much a work in progress. Apple needs to innovate continuously to keep its tech-savvy followers engaged and excited. Yet, the reality is, we don't really know what Apple will unveil. We've got hints, we've got reports, but hearing about these features without seeing them in action makes me wonder, will they truly enhance the user experience? For now, for me, maybe not. But let me know what you think. Let me know in the comments if these features are exciting you so far, or maybe not. If I had to guess, the most significant changes might come from a major Siri overhaul. Current reports suggest Siri might sound more natural, but there's no indication it'll be much smarter, at least not yet. And a proprietary Apple chatbot, the famous Apple GPT, that does seem likely any time now. And then Apple always emphasizes their camera innovations, but can they match what Google's Magic Editor achieves? I'm skeptical. I'll have to see it to believe it. I'm also thinking about how Apple's knack for partnerships could play into new AI integrations. Imagine if Siri could help manage your online purchases, like scanning your emails to flag items eligible for returns, and then partnering with major shippers like FedEx or UPS, offer you a seamless one-click return process. Now that would be a practical use of AI that could genuinely make our lives easier. It's a small example, but it hints at the potential for AI to solve real-world problems. And while I hope Apple does partner with OpenAI, I'm also looking forward to seeing other collaborations that blend AI with practical applications, solutions that benefit all of us. But what do you all think, based on what you've heard so far? We'll have to wait and see, but I'm eager to read your initial thoughts. Drop them in the comments, folks. I enjoy going through them all, even the not-so-great ones. Moreover, the report suggests Apple might label new AI features as beta or preview, perhaps as a strategy to dodge the kind of criticism Google and OpenAI have faced from glitches or insensitive AI responses. Let's face it, aren't all these high-profile AI initiatives essentially in beta anyway? They're always evolving, always being tested. I guess we're still at the dawn of the AI era, yet other companies have already staked their claim. Apple is noticeably behind. They'll need to prove themselves to catch up. And just like they made a deal with Google for search and never could make their own search engine, that wasn't their strength. My guess is that they'll also leave the AI chatbot to another company moving forward for the long term. Maybe they do one, but I don't know if that's necessarily their strength. They haven't shown us that it is, at least not yet. Now, other features we expect to see in iOS that aren't AI features include Messages finally supporting RCS messaging, which I talked about some days ago in this video. So again, if you aren't familiar, RCS allows for higher resolution photos and videos, audio messages, read receipts, typing indicators, Wi-Fi messaging, and more cross-platform with Android as well. Safari will also get improvements in iOS 18, with reports claiming that it will add a browser assistant to Safari so that it could do things like maybe intelligently search through an article and quickly summarize web pages for you. Also, reports of something called a web eraser that could allow users to remove unwanted portions of web pages. Say goodbye to maybe all those ads all the time in those same spots. And then on top of that, the removal tool will be persistent even if you revisit the same site later on. So that sounds pretty cool. Okay, the next one is very cool, folks. iOS 18 reportedly will allow the Notes app to display mathematical notations, which means a user would be able to add more types of mathematical equations to Notes, and it will also have some sort of integration with the Calculator app. Some of these features I've already talked about before, but I just want to remind you of them. The Notes app also will reportedly have a built-in audio recording tool, which would eliminate the need to switch over to the Voice Memos app. So kind of combining or being able to integrate some of these features together. Sticking with audio, Apple Music reportedly will use AI to auto-generate playlists based on what you listen to and your preferences. It feels like that's been happening from a lot of services for years already, so it'll be interesting to see how that comes together. Then, Apple Maps will be getting at least 2 new iOS 18 features. Custom routes, which would let a user choose their specific roads to travel on while navigating. For those of us that know, like there are times where we just know better no matter what the map tells us. And then topographic maps will add more detail, including trails, contour lines, elevations, and points of interest for hiking. Apple Watch has this already, but coming to iOS 18, there's also expected to be a revamped calculator app with new features, including a sidebar to list recent calculations, an improved interface for doing unit conversions, and then, as stated before, integration with the Notes app. Also, shortcuts in iOS will be able to automate complex tasks more easily with the Shortcuts app. And, shortcuts is cool, but the challenge has always been able to make it more understandable and accessible for general users. You've got the Calendar app on iPhone that will have new integration with the Reminders app in iOS 18. Now, I love this. Users will be able to organize and schedule reminders directly with the Calendar app without opening the Reminders app. I do think maybe they should just simply merge the two, but there are other features that we've heard about. Specifically, what I'm talking about are some of the major ones that we can expect to see at WWDC. There's a lot, and there'll be plenty more. So, iOS 18, this is going to be a big, big deal, and the big reveal alongside it as well. And of course, iPadOS, watchOS, macOS, tvOS, the direction of Apple Vision Pro with Vision OS. I mean, this all sounds pretty cool. With that being said, folks, if you like what you see, give me that thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to get all my latest videos when they drop. And if you want more of that Apple goodness, you can check out my playlist, Apple AI News, here on the channel. As always, see you in the next one, folks. You all take care.